Hello everybody, this is OpenWorldAddict today, and coming to you today is an introduction to a short video series in how to beat Civ 5 in a cultural victory without Brave New World within 5 hours. I am doing this for a fellow streamer of mine, Thought Dancer, whose Twitch channel should be down below. And so this is going to cover several parts. The first part is me showing you the mods I'm using, because I am using mods, and as you see I already have that up and the list up and going, and then also showing you the setup of the game. And then the second video I will be doing is a video where I give advice for like building cities, social policy selection, wonders, technology, and stuff like that. And I think I will be able to, and maybe not be able to cover it all in one video, so I may have to break that part down. But you can watch all of this in process. I am going to be live streaming a test run of Civ 5 tomorrow at 6 a.m. on my Twitch channel, and Saturday, and then Sunday is the big day. That's what I'm going to do, a live stream where I'll record for the tutorial. So I'm going to be live streaming the run of Civ 5 Culture Victory, so that you can get this, so that I have the footage already there. Now this is for people who just want they want their Civ 5 game, but they want to get it done quickly, don't have a lot of time, just want to get it done quickly. And this is also for those who have older computers, like Thought Dancer, who have a struggle at the later levels with everything moving around. I think her game crashes after the first person gets airplanes out. And so this is also for those people. Anyway, so without further ado, let's go into the mods. So all these mods are mostly building mods. There's some adjustment mods. But most of these are building mods. So the quick notes is improved granary. This, as you can see, it updates granary by adding 5% growth in cities and 25 city HP. For the watermill, improved watermill. This modifies the watermill use to better reflect its use, but it basically gives you +1 on food, +2 on production, and +1 on food on wheat. Okay? So now what these ancient building packs are for, there's an ancient building pack and an ancient building pack 2. These give you stuff on resources that you're going to have around your city anyway, and this allows you to get more out of them in the early game. So for example, this bakery it gives you +1 food in your city and +1 food from wheat. So if you have wheat, you're gonna the bakery, which you get at the same tech as the watermill. Your city is gonna grow and grow and grow and grow. And it's gonna just shoot up there. And it does require wheat, and it does require a granary already in there. Then you have the smokehouse. This is new. This is also new. Gives you +1 food and +1 food from cattle, deer, fish, and whales. So so anything that can be smoked. And to build this building, you need to have cattle, deer, fish, or whales. Again, it uses the resources you have around your city and just makes them give you more stuff. And then you have the weaver. It gives you, again, +1 production, +1 gold from sheep, cotton, and silk, +2 from dye. You need to there's a little typo. You need to require sheep, cotton, silk, or dye. And it's unlocked by animal husbandry, so yeah. That is quite neat. This gives you extra things to build in an early game, as well as just bonuses to your empire that kind of makes to your city that kind of makes sense. Ancient Building Pack 2 gives you a palisade wall and the Potter, which gives you production, +1 production, +1 gold, and +1 gold for wine. Note, it doesn't require wine, it's not in pottery, and for that reason, it's amazing by itself. Then you have the smelter, which is unlocked at bronze working, and that gives you +1 production, and another production from copper and iron. So, with this, in the ancient era, your cities will be more productive. Then we go to the classical building pack, and this is when culture really starts to come. The cultural outputs really start to expand. You have the Agora, which is a cultural building. It gives you +1 culture, +1 artist slot, so that means getting great artists. +1 gold from spices and marble, again, using the resources around you, and that's mathematics. The inn, +1 gold, +1 happiness. The +1 gold from land and sea trade routes, I think, still applies, because when you build roads between cities and you build 2 ports, I think those are still considered trade routes, so I still think that applies. +5% gold. And that's the inn. Then you have the herbalist, which gives you +1 food, +1 science, +5% science, so there's a boost to science, and it's unlocked by philosophy. Then you have the medieval and Renaissance pack. We're going through time here. You have the apothecary, which is unlocked by metal casting, and that's +1 food, +1 science, and +5% food. So you'll notice these percentage in these later ones. Unlocked from physics is the alchemist, which is +2 science on gold resources, +1 science on silver and gem resources, and requires physics. Also, metal casting unlocks the blacksmith, which gives you +1 production, +5% production, and +10% production when building melee mounted siege and archer units. And it requires iron. So, at architecture, you get the sewer system. That's +1 happiness. And 10% of food is carried over after a new citizen's born. It requires architecture. So there's like even more of a bonus than you get from your aqueducts. And then the last thing it gives you is the printer. And you know, this is unlocked by printing press, and this is like in the Renaissance, where your cultural the income you have really takes off, gets to get into the hundreds, start 100, 200, 300, or it just starts accelerating, and this building accelerates it, helps keep that acceleration going. It gives you +10% culture, +5% science, which is important. The +2 writer slots is a problem. Because, yeah, I didn't notice that. I'm gonna have to see how it impacts. It's amazing tech, but without Brave New World, writers don't. It is compatible with Gods and Kings, which does not make a lot of sense, but I'm going to have to get back. If that doesn't work, if it causes problems for the game, then I might have to take that off the mod list. And if I do, I will give you an update. And then we have the industrial building pack, where we have, this is the there's more packs that this author has made, but this is the last one we'll need, because the industrial packs is right before radio, right before airplanes, and this is when you should be close to winning the game. That boost from the Renaissance should take you through this industrial era and win you the game eventually. So you have Coastal Battery, which I won't read, Industrial Mine, which gives you 3 plus production, 3 plus 3 coal, and it requires dynamite. Locked with dynamite. At steam power, you unlock the ranch, which is +2 production, +1 food and gold on sheep, cows, and horses, and the city must have a stable. The chemist is unlocked as fertilizer, and that's +2 science, +10% science, and the city must have a university. Then you have the grocer, +2 food, +5% growth, +1 food on bananas and citrus. City must have a market. Requires biology. And then the final one on top is industrialization, tech mills, +3 production, +1 on sheep, silk and cotton, +5 gold. And the city must have an improved source of sheep, silk, or cotton. Now, with all that said, I don't know if this particular mod building pack is absolutely necessary, because by the time you reach the industrial age, you're gonna be like accelerating towards the finish line. You're gonna be close. So none of these, I think, well, that was a priority, unless you want more production in your cities. You're trying to get some more wonders out, let's say, but they may also require a lot of production to build, so they may. I don't know whether these are worth it, but I'm leaving them in just in case. So, I think that is the mod. Again, I don't know what the medieval and Renaissance. That's a wonderful building pack, but I'm gonna have to see if it causes problems. If it doesn't cause problems, I'll leave it in. All of those are essential to accelerate how quickly you are able to build wonders, put out hundreds of culture, and get to the end really quickly. So that is all about this. When I come back, I will be actually in game showing you how to set a game like this up, because you need to set it up for success. So I will be back in just a bit. Okay, we're back. And this time I am in game. So what we're going to do, this is the setup. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here to DLC and deactivate Brave New World. And say okay. It should configure the game data and then switch to Gods and Kings mode. And there we go. That's rather quick. Depending on your system, it may take longer. Then we're going to go to mods. Here's all the mods we talked about. We're going to go to next. Single player setup. Now we're going to go to advanced setup. But before we go to advanced setup, we can start here. We're gonna play Napoleon, France, City of Light. Okay. Something is wrong. Because it should say +2 culture. That's wrong. And with Gods and Kings, it should say +2 culture for per city until steam power. And that will allow our culture to accelerate a lot quicker. We're gonna play on an Oceania map because the we want islands. We want to be separated. We don't want to be right next to the enemy, so Oceania on the map, you should find a landmass that is big enough for what you want. It just doesn't need to be too big, because all we're going to want is 3 cities, that's all. explain that another time. But the map size is big because, you know, the larger the map, the more space there is between players. Settler, because all you need to do is to maintain an average army on Settler to not get invaded. And standard game pace. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna delete all opponents. Except 3, leaving total of 4 players, 4 civs, including you. Come down here, none of these matter. You're gonna have no barbarians. You can pick no espionage if you want, but I have ways for dealing with espionage, so espionage is not a problem. You want an ocean to be large, you want a legendary start. And that's basically it. That is the setup. So I hope this was informational. It wasn't a lot of information. It's just to get you set up, to get the mods you need loaded, and get you set up so that you're ready to start going. As I said, I will be streaming a test run of this tomorrow. Thursday, March 15th at 6 a.m. Pacific Time on Twitch, and I get another test run again on Friday, March 16th, 6 a.m. Pacific Time, and then the final stream, which is when I'm going to do the recording for the video footage for the actual tutorial. I'm going to do that on Saturday, again 6 a.m. Pacific Time on Twitch, and hopefully after this weekend I'll get the video tutorials out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I hope you, if you don't watch the streams, at least watch the tutorial later on. If you want to follow me on Twitch, the link is down below. Also, the link to my Twitter account is also down below. And I post most of my announcements on Twitter. Like, you'll know when videos get posted, you know when I go live on the live stream, and any announcements I have will go to Twitter. So follow me on Twitter, and if you're interested in what I'm doing, if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up button and maybe even subscribe. I'm not doing a lot of videos right now because I'm mostly focusing on my efforts on my Twitch community and getting that up to speed. And as I did ask for help from my YouTube subscribers to help me, so I'm still trying to do that. I will probably post an update about it sometime soon. But, so there's not going to be a lot of videos, but there will be more in the future. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. This is OpenWorldAddict out.